Somebody said, can you send me $20? Can you send me $20 and buy my CD? I'm broke too.
No one is talking about this, but the clip has already started making waves. Cardi B, one of the most influential rappers of our generation, went live on Instagram to push her brand new album, I Am the Drama. But just when she thought she had the perfect pitch to fans, her own daughter Kulture clapped back in real time. Cardi urged fans to buy the project, only for Kulture to interrupt with the brutal line, "Don't get her album." You heard that right. Cardi's own daughter told fans not to support it. Stick around and wait for the video clip, because once you see Cardi's face, you'll understand why the internet hasn't stopped laughing.
Y'all go get my album, please.
Oh, don't get her album.
Do you? What you mean don't get my album, girl? Then you ain't gonna be able to buy shit. We're gonna live in the hood. In Acha's house.
But it also left fans wondering, if Cardi's own daughter isn't buying into the hype, how are the rest of us supposed to? And that's where things take a dramatic turn. Because this moment wasn't just about Kulture throwing shade. It's part of a larger, carefully crafted rollout for Cardi's upcoming project. And she's making sure every single day until release is filled with headlines, controversy, and conversation. And yes, we have the clips that show exactly how serious she is. Wait and watch, because you won't believe the stunts she's pulling to keep her name trending.
Can you say hello to Korea, Cardi B? Hi, Korea. Buy my album, yeah.
Yeah, you look amazing.
And if you thought that was wild, wait until you hear about the emotional side of this story. A young fan, no older than 6 or 7, was spotted crying uncontrollably after failing to meet Cardi B at her surprise Bodega Pop-Up event in New York. Imagine it. A little girl dressed up, full of excitement, clutching her merch, only to find out she couldn't get close to her idol. The video went viral overnight, showing her wiping tears as she told her parents she just wanted to see Cardi. Stick around, because we have that clip too, and it'll melt your heart.
Cardi B, I came all the way here to see you, and I didn't get to see you.
So you crying? Till next time, because there was a lot going on, okay?
This little fan moment sparked a wave of comments online, with people praising Cardi for having such a powerful connection to kids and families. One fan wrote, "Say what you want about Cardi, but her impact on young people is undeniable." Another said, "This little girl crying just shows how real Cardi's fan base is. She's bigger than just music, she's part of our culture." And honestly, whether you love or hate her, you can't deny that these moments are priceless for an artist rolling out a project. But here's where the conversation gets messy. With all these stunts, from her daughter trolling her, to emotional fan breakdowns, to daily announcements, critics are now asking, is Cardi promoting an album, or is she fighting to stay relevant? One commentator tweeted, "This doesn't feel like promo. This feels like desperation." Another clapped back with, "Y'all don't understand the game. Cardi is turning everyday life into marketing. That's genius." The line between smart strategy and desperation has never looked thinner, and the shade didn't stop there. Social media lit up with debates comparing Cardi's methods to other rap queens. Some brought up Nicki Minaj, saying Cardi's antics are her version of shock promo. Others said it's giving Azalea Banks-level trolling. But regardless of who she's being compared to, one thing's for certain: Cardi has everyone talking. And in today's music industry, that's the only currency that matters. What makes this even more dramatic is the fact that Cardi seems to be fully embracing the chaos. Instead of brushing off her daughter's trolling or ignoring the crying fan clips, she's leaning into it. Retweeting memes, sharing fan reactions, and adding her own commentary, she's making sure no moment goes to waste. It's almost as if Cardi knows that her album isn't just about the music, it's about the narrative she builds around it. And the narrative right now? Cardi B is the drama, on and off the stage. So buckle up, because this is just the beginning. We still have a lot to unpack. From Kulture's now iconic "don't buy her album" moment, to the emotional fan cries to Cardi's relentless daily reveals. And you won't want to miss what insiders are saying about her strategy. Because if the rumors are true, Cardi might just be setting up one of the most explosive album rollouts of the year. Don't go anywhere. The drama only gets deeper from here. Now, let's circle back to the moment that started it all, Kulture's savage interruption. Some fans are calling it the most authentic moment of Cardi B's entire career. Why? Because kids don't lie. They don't follow scripts, they don't do damage control, and they certainly don't care about record sales. Kulture saying "don't get her album" hit differently because it felt unscripted. Fans immediately flooded Twitter with memes like, "Kulture just ended the whole promo campaign in one sentence." But was it really that simple? Or was this yet another piece of Cardi's chessboard? See, Cardi has always been a master of controlling the narrative. Whether it's going off on Twitter rants, getting into messy feuds, or cracking jokes that go viral, she knows how to make headlines. So when her daughter shaded her in front of millions, many fans wondered, did Cardi really lose control of the situation? Or was this secretly part of the plan? Some insiders whispered that Cardi knew exactly what she was doing by keeping that clip up. Instead of hiding the embarrassment, she turned it into promo gold. And this is where the strategy becomes clear. Cardi doesn't just want you to hear her new album, she wants you to live through it. Every day feels like a mini drama episode. One day she's selling CDs in a train station, the next she's clapping back at critics, and then suddenly her daughter is trolling her live. Each moment is a storyline. Each storyline is a headline, and every headline is free promo. And trust me, in an industry where streams equal money, that kind of attention is priceless. But here's the real question. Is Cardi risking overexposure? Some critics say yes. One viral tweet read, "She's turning her rollout into a circus. I just want the music." Another fan defended her, saying, "That's the point. The drama is part of the album. If you don't like it, you're missing the art." And honestly, both sides have a point. Cardi's album is literally titled, "I Am the Drama." So, in a sense, every chaotic rollout moment is just reinforcing the brand she's building. This brings us back to her declaration. Every day, I'm announcing something new. And she hasn't failed on that promise. Already, we've seen snippets of unreleased tracks, behind-the-scenes looks at her rehearsals, and even hints at potential collabs. Some eagle-eyed fans think Cardi might have a surprise feature with none other than Megan Thee Stallion tucked away on the album, though nothing has been confirmed. Still, the speculation alone is driving streams and attention her way. Now let's pause for a second and think about the little girl who broke down in tears at Cardi's Bodega Pop-Up. That single moment became bigger than just a fan crying. It became a symbol of how Cardi connects with people on a deeper level. This isn't just music to some. It's identity, it's hope, it's inspiration. Fans online pointed out how many kids look up to Cardi, not just as a rapper, but as a woman who came from nothing and made herself into a superstar. That's powerful. And that's why Kulture's trolling hurts, but also helps. On one hand, it's embarrassing for Cardi to be undercut by her own daughter. On the other hand, it makes her look more human, more relatable, more real. In an era where artists are often criticized for being too polished, too fake, or too distant, Cardi's brand has always been authenticity. And nothing screams authentic like your child clowning you in front of the world. But here's where the cliffhanger comes in. Some fans are starting to ask if Cardi's family should even be part of her promo strategy. Is it fair to let Kulture go viral for trolling her mom? Or should Cardi draw the line between motherhood and marketing? One commentator said, "Kulture is funny, but Cardi is putting too much pressure on her kids to be part of her brand." Others disagreed, saying, "It was just a kid being funny. Y'all are overthinking it." Either way, the debate only fuels more attention. And speaking of pressure, Cardi herself admitted that this album rollout isn't just about numbers, it's about survival. On multiple occasions, she's joked, sometimes nervously, about going broke if people don't support her. One fan even said, "This doesn't sound like a joke anymore, it sounds like desperation." And that's exactly why this story has so many layers. Because behind the glitz, behind the drama, Cardi B is a woman fighting to keep her throne in a brutal industry. So what's next? If the rumors are true, Cardi has more stunts planned in the coming days that will push the rollout into overdrive. Some insiders claim she might stage surprise performances in random public places, while others hint that she's planning to leak personal videos to create more buzz. Whatever the case, one thing's for sure, Cardi B is not backing down. And after her daughter's trolling moment, she might just be hungrier than ever to prove herself. Stick around, because this ride is only going to get wilder. Now let's get into the heart of the storm, the fan reactions. Because while Cardi is out here hustling her album with everything she's got, fans are split right down the middle. Some are fully behind her, cheering her on like warriors of the Barty gang. One fan wrote on Instagram, "I don't care what anyone says, Cardi is a genius. She knows how to sell a story, and she's going to sell this album." But others? They're rolling their eyes, calling it desperate. And that divide is where the drama really explodes. The irony is that the same fans calling her desperate are the ones keeping her name trending. Every joke, every meme, every criticism still pushes Cardi's promo into the spotlight. It's the oldest trick in the book. Controversy equals attention, and attention equals sales. One music insider even revealed, Cardi knows exactly what she's doing. She's letting y'all clown her because every laugh is a click and every click is a potential stream. Wait until you hear what else this insider said, but hold on, we'll get to that. Meanwhile, Kulture's viral trolling moment has taken on a life of its own. Some TikTokers are even editing the clip into skits, making jokes like, even her own daughter doesn't want to hear the album. But here's the twist. Instead of damaging Cardi, it's making her trend higher. Why? Because people want to see how Cardi reacts. And if there's one thing Cardi never does, it's stay quiet. She's been clapping back, laughing it off, and even turning the moment into more promo. Now let's zoom out and compare this to other artists. Nicki Minaj, Beyoncé, Taylor Swift, all legends who've mastered the art of the rollout. But here's the difference. Cardi isn't playing it safe. Beyoncé might drop an album in silence and watch the world explode, but Cardi thrives in chaos. She creates a circus, she makes herself the ringleader, and then she invites the fans to be part of the show. And love her or hate her, that's why she stays relevant. And speaking of Nicki Minaj, fans are already dragging her name into the conversation. Some are saying Cardi is copying Nicki's wild promo antics, while others argue that Cardi is simply embracing her own brand. One viral tweet read, "Y'all can say whatever, but Cardi makes everything entertaining. Nicki does numbers, but Cardi does culture." And just like that, another stan war was born. These comparisons don't just fuel the drama, they keep both artists at the center of the cultural conversation. But what about the industry side of things? Well, that's where it gets even more complicated. Labels, promoters, and Billboard all watch these rollouts very carefully. Remember, Billboard has rules against bundling albums with gimmicks to boost sales. If Cardi pushes too far with her creative stunts, could she risk having sales removed like Nicki once did? That's the question insiders are whispering. And if that happens, it could make or break this album's debut week. Still, despite the risks, Cardi refuses to slow down. In one IG rant, she flat out said, "I'm not here to play safe. I'm here to win." And that's exactly what her fans love about her. She doesn't sugarcoat, she doesn't hide, and she doesn't care if the haters scream. In fact, it seems like she feeds off the hate. One fan even commented, "Every time people drag Cardi, she just gets stronger. That's why she's still here." But there's another side to this story, and it's more emotional. That little girl crying because she didn't get to see Cardi? That wasn't just about a meet and greet. It was about a connection between an artist and a fan base that feels deeply personal. Cardi's rise from the Bronx to superstardom inspires millions. And for some young fans, she's more than just a rapper. She's proof that dreams can come true. That emotional bond may be her strongest weapon in this entire rollout. And yet, the pressure is real. Behind the scenes, Cardi's team knows that the stakes are higher than ever. This album isn't just another release. It's her chance to prove she still dominates the rap game, that she's more than just a one-album wonder. and that she can handle the critics who say she's falling off. One wrong move could derail everything, but one perfectly executed moment could cement her as a legend. So where does that leave us now? Right in the middle of the storm. Cardi's daughter trolling her, fans crying, stans fighting, insiders whispering. It's chaos, and it's only just beginning. The album isn't even out yet, and already it feels like the drama has reached a peak. But trust me, Cardi has more tricks up her sleeve. And if you think this rollout has been wild so far, just wait until you see what she does next. Let's step behind the curtain for a second, because what Cardi is doing isn't random. Every train ride, every IG live, every shocking statement about going broke is part of a bigger chess game. Think about it. Cardi B knows the world is watching, and instead of hiding her struggles, she's turning them into entertainment. This isn't just desperation. It's marketing genius disguised as chaos. But here's the kicker. People are starting to ask, is Cardi really broke, or is she just trolling? Some insiders claim she's exaggerating her financial situation to push urgency. Others argue she's truly feeling the pressure after years without a full studio album. One source close to the industry whispered, "This isn't about her losing her home. It's about her losing momentum. Cardi needs this album to remind everyone she's still at the top." And that brings us to the heart of the storm, Billboard. Because as wild as Cardi's rollout has been, there's one looming question. Will her tactics count? Remember, Nicki Minaj faced backlash when Billboard deducted nearly 100,000 album sales tied to a fan contest. If Cardi bundles her album with stunts, gimmicks, or borderline schemes, could she suffer the same fate? Fans are already nervous and haters are already circling like sharks. Still, Cardi doesn't seem fazed. On one live stream, she doubled down, saying, "Billboard don't scare me. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about my fans." That's classic Cardi. Fearless, raw, and unfiltered. But while she brushes it off, her team is surely crunching the numbers, making sure every sale, every stream, every pre-order sticks. One wrong move, and the headline could flip from "Cardi dominates" to "Cardi penalized." Meanwhile, fans are noticing something deeper. Cardi isn't just selling music. She's selling her story. She's telling people, if you don't support me, I might lose everything. That creates urgency, loyalty, and even guilt among her fan base. Some are proudly showing off their receipts, buying multiple copies of the album to save Cardi. Others call it manipulative, but either way, the plan is working, because we're all talking about it. And let's not forget, Cardi's kids are woven into this narrative too. From Kulture trolling her mom on IG Live, to Cardi saying she doesn't want her children to struggle if she loses it all, she's bringing family into the spotlight. It's risky. Some fans say it's crossing the line, but it makes the stakes feel higher. This isn't just Cardi fighting for a chart position. It's Cardi fighting for her family's future. The emotional weight is undeniable. Think about that baby girl crying after missing Cardi at the Bodega Pop-Up. That clip went viral not because it was sad, but because it captured the raw connection Cardi has with her fans. That's something money can't buy, and it's why Cardi can still dominate headlines years after her debut. Even in the middle of chaos, fans feel like they know her, like she's part of their own family. But with that closeness comes a price. Every IG Live, every tweet, every desperate plea gets dissected, mocked, and dragged across social media. Cardi doesn't just face criticism from the press, she faces it from her own fans. Some love the honesty, others hate the vulnerability. And that split reaction, it might be her greatest challenge yet. And let's be real, Cardi's critics aren't going anywhere. Offset's name keeps popping up, trolls keep resurfacing old scandals, and rival fan bases are waiting for her to fail. But here's the twist. Cardi doesn't just survive in controversy. She thrives in it. Every insult becomes fuel, every troll becomes content, and every scandal becomes promotion. So where does this leave us? At a crossroads. Cardi's strategy could either pay off in a massive, culture-shifting victory, or it could backfire spectacularly. The countdown to I Am the Drama is ticking, and every day brings new twists, new tears, new laughs, and new questions. And with 7 days to go, One thing's for sure. The drama is only just beginning. And now we are in the final stretch. Cardi B has made it crystal clear. The days are counting down and she's not backing off. Every IG Live, every viral clip, every desperate plea has been building up to this moment. Her album release. The world is watching. Will this chaotic campaign explode into victory? Or will it all come crashing down? On her most recent stream, Cardi leaned into the drama like never before. She looked straight into the camera and said, 7 days. That's all I've got. 7 days to change my life. 7 days to prove I'm still that girl. And if you love me, if you really ride for me, you're gonna buy this album. It wasn't just a sales pitch. It sounded like a plea for survival. And the fans responded. In real time, receipts started pouring in. Screenshots of pre-orders, stacks of CDs being shipped, even groups of fans pooling money together to bulk buy copies of I Am the Drama. The movement turned into a frenzy, but at what cost? Some fans admitted they skipped bills just to buy more albums. Some proudly said they don't care, because Cardi gave us so much, now it's time to give back. But not everyone's convinced. Critics say Cardi is manipulating her fans with emotional guilt, turning her personal struggles into a marketing ploy. One blogger even called it the most toxic rollout of the decade. And yet, here we are, talking about it, sharing clips, breaking down her every word. Whether you love her or hate her, Cardi has turned the spotlight back on herself, exactly where she wants it. And let's not forget the wild card, Kulture. Her own daughter has already trolled her once, telling fans, don't get her album. If that moment happens again, if Kulture says something shocking during release week, the internet will explode. Some say Cardi should keep her daughter out of it, but others argue that this mother-daughter dynamic is what makes her real, raw, and relatable. Meanwhile, that viral clip of the baby girl crying after missing Cardi at the Bodega Pop-Up keeps circulating. Fans are using it as motivation. Buy the album so that little girl never has to cry again. It's become symbolic, almost like a rallying cry for the fan base. Cardi isn't just selling music anymore. She's selling moments, emotions, and stories that fans want to be a part of. Behind the scenes, insiders are whispering that Cardi's label is nervous. They know the stakes. If I Am the Drama flops, it won't just be a bad week. It could shake the foundation of her career, her endorsements, and her standing in the industry. But if it succeeds, it'll prove that no scandal, no troll, no delay can ever silence Cardi B. And the biggest twist? Rumors are swirling that Cardi has one final trick up her sleeve for release day. Some say it's a surprise collaboration. Others claim it's a wild publicity stunt. Whatever it is, you know it's going to break the internet. Cardi isn't the type to go out quietly. If she's going down swinging, and she'll make sure the world is watching. So now, all eyes are on the countdown. 7 days. 7 chances to shock us. 7 days to decide if Cardi B's chaos turns into triumph or tragedy. And as we inch closer to release, one thing is clear. Cardi isn't just dropping an album. She's writing a chapter in pop culture history. And that's why this story matters. Because no matter how messy, no matter how dramatic, no matter how outrageous, Cardi B knows exactly what she's doing. She is the drama. And when the clock hits 0, the only question left will be, did the world buy in, or did the drama finally catch up to her? Stay tuned.